Mankind's passion for the depths is as ancient and perilous as its curiosity for space. In the icy waters of the Cold War, hundreds of brave souls were confined behind iron plates, taking on the world's most isolated and dangerous missions inside their nation's pride and jewels, these colossal submarines. For them, the depths were indistinguishable from outer space. Pressure, cold, and absolute silence ruled. But by the late 1960s, a terrible truth belonging to this hidden world was about to surface, teaching a ruthless and repetitive lesson. This is the story of 4 nations, 4 submarines, and a single fate: silence. When it comes to deep-sea tragedies, 2 names immediately come to mind, becoming the symbol of this quiet war. The first curtain was staged in the frigid waters of the North Sea. The pride of the Russian Navy, the massive Kursk, K-141 submarine, exploded during a torpedo exercise on August 12, 2000. The submarine, which became a tomb for 118 sailors, represented the tragic end of Titanic-like pride deemed unsinkable. Similarly, the U.S. Navy suffered a comparable trauma. The USS Thresher, SSN 593, the most advanced, fastest, and deepest diving nuclear submarine of the fleet, considered unsinkable, broke apart at a depth of 2,400 meters during a routine test dive on April 10, 1963, burying its 129 crew in the ocean's dark graveyard. These 2 incidents have found their place in public memory, becoming popular tragedies that evoke instant recognition. But what about the others who shared the same fate, but were nearly forgotten in the shadow of the Cold War? What about the 4 different submarines and their missing crews trapped in the silent darkness of the depths in 1968? A time when the world was focused on space? 1968 was a year when humanity's dream of reaching the moon had peaked, and technological triumphs were celebrated. Yet in the depths of the oceans, an entirely opposite scenario unfolded. Marking a dark stain in the history of submariners, that year witnessed the mysterious disappearance of 4 submarines from 4 different nations: France, Israel, the Soviet Union, and the United States. All differed in technology, missions, and size. But what united them was their sudden and inexplicable disappearance during routine missions, their final messages never answered, and their wrecks, some for decades, never found. These 4 tragedies proved just how ruthless and impartial deep silence could be. While hostilities continued on the surface, the true enemy in the depths was the very laws of physics. The first loss came from the blue waters of the Mediterranean. The pride of the French Navy, the Daphne-class submarine MINERVE, S-647, submerged for an exercise off Toulon on January 27, 1968. Weather conditions were perfect. Its last radio message was a routine dive report, but no further messages came. The MINERVE and its 52 French sailors vanished into the sea. Massive search and rescue operations failed to find even a piece of wreckage or an oil stain. It's as if the MINERVE evaporated instantly. The mystery shook and saddened France deeply. How could a submarine disappear without a trace in such shallow and well-known waters? The shock of MINERVE's loss hadn't subsided when just 2 days later, news came from the eastern Mediterranean. The Israeli Navy's INS Dakar, purchased from the UK and modernized, sent its last radio message from Crete on January 25th, while en route to Israel. ETA was January 29th. It never arrived. Israel mobilized all resources, launching one of history's largest submarine search operations. Yet it was fruitless. Dakar and its 69 crew disappeared into the depths of the Mediterranean. Their final messages were signs of safety. Everything was fine. So what went wrong? These twin tragedies deeply shook 2 allied nations sharing the same sea. Was this a coordinated enemy attack? Or were the depths so merciless as to deliver the same fate to different nations? The answer would soon come from across the ocean. The most secret front of the Cold War lay in the cold, grim waters of the North Atlantic. On March 8, 1968, the Soviet Union's Golf II-class ballistic missile submarine K-129 was on patrol in the Pacific near Hawaii. It sent its last message before disappearing into silence, along with 98 Soviet sailors. A gigantic Soviet search operation ensued, but finding anything in the vast Pacific was like looking for a needle in a haystack. No traces were found. The loss of K-129 delivered a major blow and deep mystery to Soviet submarine history. Was its sinking caused by an internal explosion? A collision with an American sub, or a technical malfunction? These questions would remain unanswered for decades. This incident also became the beginning of one of the Cold War's greatest mysteries. The US would launch a massive secret operation, Project AZORIAN, attempt to find the wreck of K-129 and try to recover part of it. Proof that the silent war in the depths had reached mind-boggling proportions. The final act that made 1968 the dark year in submarine history appeared in May. 5 years after the USS Thresher tragedy, the US Navy was shaken again. The nuclear attack submarine USS Scorpion, SSN 589, was returning from a Mediterranean mission. On May 21st, it sent its final message off the Azores. It never reached its base in Norfolk. There were 99 men aboard. The Navy scanned the ocean floor to find the wreck. After 5 months, Scorpion's shattered wreck was located at a depth of more than 3,000 meters. The official investigation suggested an internal explosion, possibly due to a torpedo malfunction, sent the submarine dangerously deep, causing it to implode under pressure. But Scorpion's loss held a different kind of mystery from Thresher's. It was lost at the very heart of the Cold War, spawning endless conspiracy theories regarding possible Soviet involvement. These 4 tragedies, MINERVE, 52 lost, Dakar, 69 lost, K-129, 98 lost, and Scorpion, 99 lost, made 1968 the darkest year in submarine history. In total, 318 sailors from 4 nations were sent to their final sleep in the relentless depths of the oceans, all during routine missions, all unexpectedly, all having to face their ultimate fate alone. Their final messages contained no distress signals, no calls for help. Silence descended suddenly and decisively. It took decades to find their wrecks. MINERVE in 2019, Dakar in 1999, K-129 in 1974, and Scorpion at the end of 1968. While each accident had a different technical cause, possible collision, battery explosion, snorkel malfunction, torpedo accident, what united them was the cost of challenging the limits of technology and an unforgiving environment in the depths. These 4 submarines and 4 nations, regardless of frozen Cold War politics, shared a common destiny: silence. Their story is a legacy that shows how costly human exploration at the extremes can be, and that the ocean depths are as ruthless and mysterious as the void of space. Remembering them is not just for the 318 lives lost, but also to ensure the ultimate price paid by these brave explorers and soldiers is never forgotten, because the silence of the depths never forgets. If you liked this powerful and tragic submarine story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below. You can hit the like button and share your thoughts to see more stories from us. Let's continue to venture together into the depths of silence.